the west side. What you're looking at here is the west side of the warehouse complex is where this firefighter was overcome and where they're working on him.
Dan, for those of you joining us right now, as we show you these pictures, while they seem pretty intense, it really is nothing compared to what we've been witnessing throughout the last 2.5 hours that we've been watching this fire for you here. It seemed like the entire building was up in flames when we first got word of this fire.
I was talking to the mayor of Pompano Beach. I reached him on the telephone about 90 minutes ago, and he said his son was coming in from college, came off the interstate, and I said, Dad, you ought to see this giant blaze that was going on. It was quite spectacular, because when we originally got word of it here in the CBS 4 UPN 33 newsroom and saw the pictures from our tower cam, it looked like several city blocks were ablaze, and that was because of all of the fuel that was just adding. It was just bigger and bigger and black and red. Pompano Beach was on the scene. North Lauderdale was called to the scene. Several other agencies were called out. And as you can see right now, in Beatrice, in our years of doing this down here in Miami, you know, they want to dump a lot of water on this.
They can as quickly as possible.
We're seeing the water cannons and also the tall ladders that are being used to attack these fires.
Tony, at this point, that it would appear that it worked to put out this fire completely and salvage anything. It doesn't appear there's going to be a whole lot to salvage, but more than anything, contain it and keep it from spreading to any of the other businesses that are in this area.
Hey, Kerry Codd, our man on the scene, you still with us? Hey, Kerry, you got anything new to add to what you're getting from your vantage point?
Brian, it's very difficult for us to be able to get very close to show you guys exactly what's going on from here. As you mentioned, just a massive response effort, though. I don't think you can really overstate that when you have all those agencies that are out here trying to put this thing out.
Are you getting any word, Kerry, from your sources there on the scene about this North Lauderdale firefighter who was injured?
Honestly, Brian, no, we're not.
Okay. To our word of the assignment desk, let's try to get North Lauderdale's chief on the line. I'm sure a lot of people in Broward County tonight may know a firefighter who has responded to this scene and are worried this might be their friend. Hopefully we can get some good news on his condition in the course of the next 45 minutes or so and bring that to you.
Yeah, and hopefully this will be the only injury that we'll hear about when you consider how intense this fire is and so many different firefighters who are involved in this firefight. Brian, you mentioned, I know you have some information there about the company, and Tony mentioned that perhaps the reason that this fire seemed to have spread so quickly is because it is almost the perfect scenario for a fire there. It is being fed by all this packing material, wood. It is the Pallet Consultants is the company we're talking about. They buy mixed hardwood. They cut stock there, so definitely a situation where that fire can spread quickly. What more can you tell me about the company?
Well, we did just a little bit of research, and I guess it's owned by a couple of brothers, Frank and Gus Gutierrez, and this is one of several locations they have across the U.S., but it's a very busy location, moving some 200,000 wooden pallets each day. Pallet Consultants employs as many as 300 people at this location, and apparently it's a 24-hour operation. It's unclear at this point what ignited this blaze, but we do know that it spread rather quickly.
Yeah, and when you deal with any fire, you always, of course, take into account the weather condition, the winds, because especially a fire with this kind of situation, the possibility of fumes that could be hazardous to anyone in the area. David Bernard is in weather control right now. David, what can you tell us about the weather and what kind of a role it's playing in this fire?
Well, Beatrice, here's the situation tonight, and what we're going to show you is some of the current wind speeds and the direction, and that's real significant to what's going on, and probably some good news as well. Right now, there's been a pretty good breeze across the area. Notice in Broward, it's blowing between 10 and 13 miles per hour. The wind direction, though, is coming from the west. That means this smoke is being blown out back toward the water. Now, obviously, if you're just due east of where this fire is occurring, a lot of smoky conditions are blowing your way, but by and large, most of this now is pushing toward the Atlantic and not inland. You know, typically we would have a wind coming like this from the east a lot of times, and that would be bad, spreading a lot of these smoky conditions over more populated areas. But since it's blowing toward the ocean, that is some good news tonight with the west wind, and it's a pretty good breeze. Again, about 10 or 12 miles per hour is the current reading out of Pompano Beach. We'll continue to monitor things here in Weather Control.
All right, thank you, David Bernard. We'll check in with you when warranted.
You're looking at live pictures from UPN 33 and CBS 4 of a spectacular warehouse fire in Pompano Beach. It broke out roughly 2.5 hours ago and could be seen for miles from as far away as I-95 and from downtown Fort Lauderdale. This is in the industrial section of Pompano Beach. 1000 Southwest 12th Street, a company that specializes in wooden pallets. They ship 200,000 of them in and out each day from their facility in Pompano Beach, a company called Pallet Consultants. The other part of this fire, of course, is a situation involving a firefighter.
That's right. We're going to have all of this and more for you when UPN 33 News at 10 o'clock comes right back, so stay with us.